Alright guys, what we have here is the lightning round here for Lauren and Elise. I'm going to ask her 10 questions real quick. They're simple questions. She's just going to answer as quickly as possible. Are you ready, Lauren?
Okay, let's do this.
Alright, texting or phone call?
Phone call.
Shave your head or gain 30 pounds?
Oh, man. Oh! Shave my head. I can always get a wig.
Pale or bad tan?
Pale.
Only person that can see color or be colorblind?
Oh, the only person that can see color. Oh, fuck it, I'm selfish. I want to see color.
Accent or impression? Lightning round, Lauren, lightning round!
Accent!
Workout or go out?
Go out.
Have the power to flying or be invisible?
Ooh. Well, I'd probably get shot at if I could fly, so I'd be invisible.
You prefer the hot or the cold?
The cold.
Marines or Marauders?
Marines.
NASL Chance or Rotterdam?
Oh, Chance.
Congratulations, you completed the lightning round!
Roddy's gonna be so pissed!
Hey guys, this is Rifkin, waiting for Lauren and Elise to wash a bunch of chicken off of her face. Hey guys, welcome, I'm Rifkin. You guys may know me from the YouTube channel, but if you don't, I'm a caster for Starcraft 2, and you can find some of my work here on youtube.com/mapcontrolco. I'm here today with the lovely Lauren and Elise.
Hi guys, I'm the host for NASL and gaming personality. I play a lot of Starcraft. You can follow me on Twitter at @IamLaurenElise, or you can watch my streams. I stream every night from about 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitch TV/NASL_Lauren.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put all that information in the description below, guys, so you can check that out with ease. I'm curious, like, obviously you've got the ghost one that was your profile picture for a long time. You did the medic as well more recently, which I thought was just, quite frankly, badass more than sexy, but it also had sexy attached to it, so that was pretty cool. What would you say your favorite, I guess, cosplay related thing is, as far as, like, what you've done?
You know, it's so funny that you asked me about this because today I did another cosplay event. I went to the AX Live anime cosplay event and I was a Vocaloid. And what that is it's like a Japanese pop star and it's like the anime. So I had this like long blonde pink wig and a pink tutu dress and like the black gloves and a microphone, and I was wearing my headphones on my head. So I looked like this little like anime pop star thing. I tweeted a picture of it. You guys can go look at it. And I'm gonna do a segment over that. So I've done that, the medic and Nova. Nova was really fun. It was my first one, but I have to tell you like about this because they were such bad artists.
Oh no?
They were so bad, and it was like so embarrassing. This is one of my most embarrassing moments.
That was all body paint, I think, right? Or
oh my gosh, okay, but more like our producer asked me if I could get like some professional body painters, and I know like quite a few of people in the industry, so I reached out to like 3 of them. Now one of them was like the best and he's out of state, so we'd have to fly him in and he could come in. But I mean, if you like Google like body paint, like, and some like there's like supermodels that look like she's wearing like a shirt, like a Rolling Stone shirt, but she's completely topless. It does not look like she's topless. Like it looks like she's wearing a shirt. So I mean, there's some phenomenal body paint out there. So I asked him, I'm like, I mean, what kind of level do you want this? Like, I know this guy in New York that can fly down and he can do it and like give us like, make me look like Nova, no problem. But we're gonna have to pay him and his flight and his hotel. So they're like, no, that's too expensive. So then we go down to like level 2. And I'm like, okay, I have this guy who's local, but he costs this much money. And he does like underwater body paint for like really cool artists that go like underwater to look like mermaids. So I mean, I have all these people, and then he's like, you know, all of that's just like too complicated and it's too expensive. I'm gonna go find my own like people and we'll be good to go. So the next day he texts me, he's like, oh, I found these 2 women that are like really good, and I found them online and it's gonna be great. They come in and they're like, you know when you go to like the fair, like the people that like do face paint? Yes. It was like little carnies. It was like these 2 people.
Finger painting on your body, yeah, basically. Like
that, like they like do like the whiskers. like, oh, voila, you're a cat. And so they come in, they have no idea what we're even doing. They see our studio and they're like, wow. And I'm like, oh shit.
That's a really good impression, by the way. I was totally believing that you were.
That's how they walked in. And so they come in and they're like, wow, so what are we doing today? And, you know, I show them the picture of Nova and I'm like, I want you to make me look like this. And they like look at it and they're like, your whole body.
Oh,
And then
no.
she like looks at her friend and she's like, we're gonna need more paint.
Oh no.
And I'm like, Morgan, who's the producer, I'm like, what did you do?
Oh jeez.
And so these two women are like, well, are you gonna be wearing like a bodysuit? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna be butt-ass naked. Like, what do you
They
think?
didn't even know, like, what
They
they'd
didn't
been
even know.
contracted for?
No, they didn't even know. They
Oh,
thought they
God.
were gonna come in as gonna be like in a bodysuit. And I go, I'm gonna be wearing like a nude thong. Does that work for you? She's like, do you have pasties? I'm like, no. Like, you thought, like, are you a body painter? Like body paint is supposed to be nude, but you're not supposed to tell. It's not supposed to be like, oh, look, her nipples. Like, it's supposed to, like, you're not supposed to see it if they do it right. Like, it's all supposed to just be great work. So anyways, it was so bad. And the girl didn't even, like, want to paint over my boobs. So we had to put, like, gaff tape over my boobs.
Oh,
and then
jeez.
she like does it and she's like, it doesn't look very good. I'm like, of course not, there's gaff tape on my boobs.
Gong
like,
Show 2012.
like, what the hell? And then like right as this is all happening, she's like, well, take the gaff tape off and I'll try to fix it. So I take the gaff tape off and right as I do, Kevin and Ben and Dan walk in the office. And I'm like standing there like in like this abs like this flaking off body paint that's like terrible. It was so bad.
So
and like,
which of
and
them
I
squirmed
have like
first?
gaff tape lines like this, and I'm holding the tape, and I'm like, "Hey, Kevin, Ben, and Dan, like if you didn't Google me before, this is what it looks like now." Like, and so they're just like,
God.
"What the hell?" And that was a really embarrassing moment. And so the lady's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna fix this." She goes like right over my nipple with her airbrush and just goes, "Shh." Like black paint, and that's how she colored in my nipples, and I'm just like, this is awful. And they wanted to do a commercial, but I didn't feel comfortable because my body paint was so bad. Like I had to like walk out like this because you could totally tell I was naked. And I'm just like walking around the office and just like, hey guys, like I'm Nova, but I can't show you anything else.
I'm Nova, but you can't see it, okay? Like...
I'm Nova, but sorry, I can't put my arms. I'm like, you want a hug? So it was really, oh man, it was bad. So anyways, Nova was not my favorite. And then that's when we invested in the medic costume.
That looked so good, I have to say. Like, when you were up on the stage showing off the finished product, like, part of me, like I said, like, I really felt it looked a little more badass than anything else. And I think that's...
Oh, I think that the designer really did a great job, and she made all of that from scratch, and she like fitted it to my body, and it was really awesome. And that whole thing came about because this cosplay, like I told like everybody at the office, I was like, I'm never doing cosplay like that again. Like unless we have like a budget, I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to do something small and embarrassing. Like if you want to do something, let's do it right. So then they were like, okay, well, we'll invest in a designer and we'll do this outfit and we'll make it better. And they did. Totally nailed it. I thought it was so cool. I wanted it to be like more sexy, but feel like the way that she made it look, it was just perfect.
Yeah,
like
I don't think you could have improved on it, to be honest.
No, she did it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you liked it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, it's kind of good then that the first one went so poorly, because if the first one went really well, they might have been like, okay, let's not spend as much money on the second one, type thing.
Yeah,
So,
maybe, you never know.
so it's one of those blessings in disguise, right?
For sure. So, and then it was so bad, like, NASL was like, oh, you know, we'll do like a little commercial with Lauren and we'll get a bunch of subscribers. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do a commercial in this Nova costume like this. And then today I did my own cosplay. It was just a dress that I had in my closet. And then I went shopping. I spent like $60 and I got like the wig and the gloves and the shoes and like the whole thing. And I was like a Vocaloid. So I mean, I'm also getting used to it. Like as doing the cosplay and going to different events and seeing what other people do and then getting my own ideas. It's really addicting. And it's really something that a lot of girls get into because it's like dress up. Like when you're little girls.
It's dressed up that people won't scoff at. They're gonna be like, oh my god, that looks so cool. Like,
yeah. So I'm really enjoying it, and today I did it for fun. I was gonna go cover the event, and I didn't have to dress up as cosplay because I was just an on-field reporter, doing a review and interviewing all the cosplayers there. But I was like, man, if I'm gonna go to a cosplay event, I want to dress up too.
No, that's
So-
actually really cool that you would do that on your own. Like, because how many people just go, right? And they just try to make themselves look pretty, but not put the extra effort in. Like, actually cosplaying, like, the extra effort, that is so cool that you did that.
Yeah, here, let me pull up my little picture, the one that I showed you earlier. It's right here.
Yeah, well,
Oh my god. And there was this little girl, Graham, that you would have died over. She was 5 years old, and her name was Charlotte, and she was there. So this is, hold on a second. Wait for this screen. So that's, can you see that?
Yeah. That actually
So
goes up surprisingly clear, but just in case it doesn't, I'll edit in the actual picture or something, but...
Okay, cool. There's this little tiny girl, her name was Charlotte, and she was 5 years old. And she was there.
Was she dressed up too, or...?
Yes, she was. Hold on. Wait. There
Oh my
you go.
god, that is so cute.
This little tiny 5-year-old, and she was dressed up as a little like Japanese cheerleader, and she was so cute.
I hate that I can recognize this one. I think that was Sailor Venus she was dressed up as.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
Oh.
That's what she said.
Yeah, no, I'm not proud to admit it. My childhood was Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, and like all that other crap when I was growing up. So yeah, I recognize that one at least.
She was a doll. She had the best personality. I interviewed her too.
Oh, I bet that was a pretty good interview. Like, she's like...
She's like, I'm a cheerleader. So, but out of all the cosplay, I think the medic was my favorite. Also, because it was such a step up from my first one. So it was like, I was impressed. Everyone was really blown away. And I was like, wow. It was also like a really big art project, and its designer got all involved. I really enjoy cosplay. Like, I did. That's why my eyes are pink and black. I don't normally wear like drag queen makeup on a daily basis. But I had to dress.
You know, it could just be too much makeup, but no, it's drag queen makeup.
This is like my drag queen makeup. This is what it's just, it's my daily like interview eyes.
Oh, you, go on. So you're hosted at NASL. I'm just a little curious. Obviously, you dabble with esports and the players and what have you. What are your responsibilities as a host at the NASL?
Oh man, I have a lot of responsibilities actually. I do, like, all the projects that I do, I pretty much have to find myself. So like the AX Live thing, like Barbie told me about it, and she was like, hey, if you want to go cover this event, it's tomorrow. And so, you know, I jet out of the office and I went and I got an outfit so that I could go do it like the right way today. But I'm mostly in charge of finding all the things I want to do. If I want to go interview the guys at Riot, I have to reach out to like marketing director or a promotional person for Riot, or if I know anybody there, and then I have to go through all the ropes of trying to talk to them. When is a good time? Can I come in? I need 30 minutes. If I want to go to iBuyPower, I have to get permission slip to take cameras. I mean, all of my segments are done completely by me. So when I did the voiceover thing for Kerrigan at the Art Institute for one of the college students, he reached out to me, and then we planned this whole thing. So my whole job is like self-made. Like they're not just like feeding me stuff.
So you don't have like this crew of people working around you, basically. It's you.
No, like at all. Not at all. If I want something done, I have to go out and get it. Like if I want to interview someone, I have to go up to that person when I see them, or find a way to contact them. And you'll randomly like see tweets where I'm like reaching out to like executives, and I'm like, hi, my name is Elise. You have no idea who I am. I would really like to come interview you. So I mean, like, I'm always trying to like reach out to people. I mean, everything from the ideas to the interviews to booking stuff is pretty much all, I would say 90% me.
Do you do your own scripting too as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that is a headache amount of work.
Yeah, I do all my own scripting. If I'm gonna, like the tattoo thing, like I do my intros, my outros. Every time that I go on field and I do reporting, like today, I do the intro and the outro. I do the interview questions and everything. I mean, yeah, it's all me. Every now and then I have like a blessing from God. Like Barbie comes up to me and she's like, hey, tomorrow's a cosplay event. And I'm like, oh, praise Jesus that you told me about this. Because finding ideas is really hard sometimes. Like, I mean, constantly having to think of like how to like get out into the esports field and who to talk to. And I try to do like 1 or 2 a week. And some people are like, oh, I'm not available until like mid-July. So it's like, oh man, okay, so let's book you for mid-July. Yeah, but I I do it all. And last year was a lot easier. Like I didn't do so much on-field reporting, and a lot of it was more kind of like fed to me, and it was more about me being on camera and like just kind of interacting with the casters between commercial breaks and stuff like that. Like it was more just being like personality. This year, it's really like aimed towards me having to get out there and do it all myself and get out of the office, and just it's a lot of work, but it's fine. I mean, that's what I want to do, and honestly I really like it, and it's very rewarding when I do a segment and like the guys at work are like, oh, that was actually really cool, because they don't lie. Like they are not like suck ups or want brownie points or anything. They don't care. Like if something is stupid, they will tell me. So when I do something really cool, or I do something that's like my idea or whatever, I mean, I get respect, and I think that's priceless. And they lately have all been really like proud of me, and they've been, you know, telling me, wow, you're doing really cool segments and really entertaining, and we really like where you're going with this. And so, I mean, my hard work's kind of paying off.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the thing too, like a big part of why I wanted to talk to you is the fact that, you know, I'm not exactly Lauren Elise famous, but I've had to do a lot of the same work you do, and I know it goes underappreciated a lot of the time. And I think there's a lot of people out there who just they see you on the stage as a host and are like, oh, she's just a pretty face, and they don't realize how much extra work goes in behind the scenes for it. Transitioning from that, you had mentioned to me before as well, I knew that you had done some writing, and I think you said you have a book or something you'd like to show off.
Called Cases of a Poet.
Yeah, so I quite frankly knew nothing about this. If you want to maybe explain, not just to me, but I guess to anyone watching.
Yeah, I went to college, and I'm an English literature major, and I minored in language arts. I wanted to be like a teacher and a writer. That's like what I originally like saw myself doing. Like,
you went the complete opposite direction of that.
I was gonna be an English teacher. Could you imagine like going to college and I'd be your teacher? That's what I wanted to do. But I really wanted to be a writer too. I studied Shakespearean literature, biblical literature. I studied like oh my gosh, every kind of literature under the sun. But when I studied Shakespearean literature, I fell in love with poetry. And I've been writing poetry since I was about 7 years old. Just like random things, and I've always kept journals and diaries, and I just write all the time ever since I was little. And I would write little songs, and my moms and I would make my mom and I would make songs when I was little, and we would just like sing them around the house, like just for fun. And so when I studied Shakespearean literature, and I went like verse by verse and rhyme by rhyme, I just like I just dove into it. And so I wrote a book of poetry, and in this book they're all stories. They're all like original stories, and they all have like rhyme and rhythm. It's very Dr. Seuss. It's very, very Seussical, but it's more dark. So it's like a really dark Dr. Seuss book. Do you want me to read you a short poem?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you could read a verse or something, that'd be pretty cool.
How about this? You pick a page number, and then out of my table of contents, I'll read you the poem.
Okay, what's between one and?
I have 57 pages in here. So
let's go with two. Let's go with 2.
Okay.
Number 2, the table of contents.
I just turned 1 page. Okay, this poem is called "I Eat When I'm Hungry."
I like it already.
One of my funny ones. Okay, so each one of my stories has a valuable lesson. And they're all kind of hidden messages. Like I don't just like write straight up. Like you kind of have to figure out what the message is. But I'll read this one to you. It's called "I Eat When I'm Hungry." I drool over my dinner plate and glare at all who watch. I eat when I am hungry, and I wash it down with scotch. I dig in with my hands. I don't need a fork and knife. I eat when I am hungry, and I will not change my life. I will not be polite. I will snack with every bite. I eat when I am hungry. This is plain as black and white. I feast upon my meat, and I shred it with my teeth. I eat when I am hungry, and I will not be discreet. While I sit here in my seat, I care not what you think. I eat when I am hungry, and I only stop to drink. But if you laugh while I am eating, I will stand up on my feet and skip a nicer greeting. Come laugh closer, little treat. Your cries will all be wasted, your voice won't make a sound. I eat when I am hungry, so simple yet profound.
I like. That's pretty good until the end. It got like really dark all of a sudden. Like
it's all my poems end like that. They all either end in murder, death, or something. I mean, all of my poetry.
That was actually pretty good though, I have to say. Like when you told me you wrote a poetry book, I didn't exactly scoff at it, but I was like, okay, you know, she wrote a poetry book. That'll be cute. But no, that's actually pretty good.
Well, it's all just for fun. Like, I really didn't do it to sell like 1 million copies or be like the next Anne Rice. Like, it's not like my goal to be like an awesome author.
I like how that's what your bar said, by the way. It's not J.K. Rowling like everyone else for 5e. It's Anne Rice, like a realistic. I'm not shooting for the stars here or anything. I mean,
I'd be like the next, like, amazing writer. You know what I did? I did this because a lot of people don't take me seriously when I say that I'm gonna do something, and I think that there is nothing more annoying in the world than when someone says that they're gonna do something and then everyone goes, oh yeah, I'm sure you're gonna do it. And so when I was in college, my best friend was like, I had like been writing all this poetry, and I'm like, hey, let me read you some of my poetry, just let me hear what you think. She's like, dude, you gotta get this stuff out there, like that's really cool. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna publish a book of poetry. And she's like, what? No, you're not. Yeah. And so I did. And then I ordered 500 copies. I designed the cover. The cover is a girl in Italy, a friend of mine, her name is Laura. I told her what I wanted. I told her, I want this guy, I don't want you to see him face. I want it to look like he's just kind of walking into the distance. And I want him to be in black and white, like he's a boring person out from the outside. I go, but in his briefcase, I want his pages to be flying out and be colorful, like each one is an emotion or a feeling or a dream or something, because I want what he's holding in the inside to be colorful and to be like a concept of who he is that nobody understands, and I want him to let it go. Like I want him to like let himself go. So she came up with this drawing. It's great. It's exactly what I wanted. It's called The Cases of a Poet. And then on the back, it's just a book that you can just buy. I'm gonna put it up on my website in a couple of weeks so people can get it there.
That's cool. How recent, or I guess long ago, when did you do that?
2011.
Oh, so not that long ago, actually.
I finished the book, and I copywrote everything inside of it in 2011.
So that's not just like a college thing you did, you've been like writing it out since. That's still fairly recent.
Yeah. But I always write. I have another book ready to go, but I just don't have time.
I've never been like, I'm not one for rhyming poetry, but I really like haiku.
You know what you should do is go online on Google and search the top 100 sexiest words of all time. And there's a website that comes up of sexy word haikus. And they're all haikus, like 100 haikus, using the sexiest words in the English language. And it's so fun, because you can read them, and like some of them are like erotic, and some of them are not like so
some
erotic.
are like, oh my goodness.
Some of them are like, oh, I can't believe someone said that.
Those 17 syllables have got me all hot and bothered, oh my. I'm curious, so you mentioned before you got to meet a lot of the gamers, working at NESL and stuff, especially, Starcraft 2 gamers. Who would you say, you can gauge it however you like, fun versus cool, whatever, but who would you say your favorite ones are that you've had the chance to meet?
The first one that I ever met, and really got to know, was Stefano. And some people were like, oh, they're dating, it's weird, but that's not true. He was just the first nice pro player that also spoke English. That was down to talk to me and tell me something about the game. So Stefano will kind of always be the one that I met first that I always root for, because he was my first friend, So I'm okay, so Stefano. But then I met Hyun and Golden and Violet, and I got to know them, and I know the backstory on Violet and his hard times, and Golden is really ticklish. A lot of people don't know that about Golden, but
fun fact.
He's so ticklish, and if you go to hug him, he'll hug you like this, he doesn't move his arms because he's really, really ticklish, right here on his ribcage.
So he gives you a T-Rex hug, basically.
Yeah, so when you go to hug him, he'll just be oh, and this a little pat thing. And so I always go up to Golden and I just will rip my hands underneath him and be ah! And I just tickle him, and he screams like a little girl. It's so funny. But he's one of my favorites because he's so much fun. And then Violet is really funny. And he has this hair thing, it's the little pop star, it's the like the hair flip thing. So he always like flips his hair and he'll like flip it. And I'm like, oh, Violet, flip it for me. And then he'll be like, so I mean, he's really playful. He'll play. But a lot of it, I mean, like they're all so fun. And Hyun is like a dancer. Like he likes to like break dance and stuff. So like in the back, he'll like be doing some like dance moves. I think that they're all really fun. I like them all. I think they all are like on their own level of cool. They all have really cool features about them. Oh, features, like they're like a game. I'm like, they all have really great features.
Like The Sims, you like customize them and like, oh, Hyun's angry at me? I'm gonna lock him in the bathroom then.
No, but I like them all. I think that they're all, I think they're all just little collectibles.
Well, you know, Koreans and becoming whatever, racist joke there somewhere. But so
it's underlying.
Yeah. I'm curious then, so you've got favorite gamers. Is there, I'm not asking like for someone you might hate per se, but is there anyone you kind of have like a rivalry with? Like every time you see him, you're like, I got my eyes on you type thing?
Yeah. And he's gonna hear about this very soon from this whole interview. It's like an ongoing thing, and everybody at ASL knows I do not like